And welcome back to part 55 of Final Fantasy 15, where today we'll be tackling all the episode specific super bosses, with the first one being Gladio vs Core. This one isn't too bad, and I was really tempted to record this another run, because my successful run here starts off pretty alright but just falls apart. And I was really adamant that I could do it a lot better, and I ended up doing it, so I was really annoyed at myself that I didn't get it, but eventually I was like, you know what, I've got it, and I showed that it is difficult and show that you can mess it up. I'd rather keep that one in. So that's what I'm going to do. Like this, the core fight, the main thing to do is that if he's not attacking him will be worthless, because you won't be able to hit him. But I say that, in terms of actual damage dealing it'll be worthless, but in terms of breaking his combo and breaking what he's up to, it might be worthwhile. Because you can use it to your advantage to stop him doing specific things if you don't want him to do it. Like, after the first Razor's Edge, he's at a low enough point in his health where he can put himself into a status where he can't, this status that you see me try and hit dodge, but he blocks instead. Where for a long while now, he's going to be just completely ignorant of anything I try to do guarding. He's completely unguardable, everything he does for a short period of time. Which is annoying because guard and dodge is on the same button, and the control on it is annoyingly finicky. And so there's a lot of times where it's unblockable, I'll go to just straight up dodge, and Gladio will just decide he wants to block it and bounce off and take the damage. Because you know it's unblockable. Also, if he's mid combo and you parry him, he will dodge. You need to do it at the, you need to catch him on the end of a combo to really get the hit on him. Or if he's throwing the weapons at him like that, then you can block him easily. There's the death.
Try again when they're truly ready.
Because I was adamant I could do this without dying, but unfortunately that's what happened. You could probably do this without too much trouble, without items as well. It's just the small things that Core catches you on that makes it a pain in the ass. That was very lucky. You see, I pressed the dodge there, but because I thought it was still unblockable, but no, I got away with that. But Core's nearly down. He only really a good couple strong hits and it's over. But of course you have to do this shit again. And there we go, we got him. See, Core wasn't that bad.
At ease. Thus ends your final trial. You did Claire as proud today. Now go. Walk tall as the shield of the chosen king.
I think that one's probably the most significant of the three super bosses. Like, it actually has character and growth and importance to it, whilst the other two are just there for funsies. Starting with this one, in episode Prompto, you get to fight Aranea. I'm doing them in release order, not plot order this time round. So next is Prompto's fight, and this one's probably the easiest and most boring of the three super boss fights. And I know why, it's because of Prompto's gameplay style really isn't built to work against a more traditional super boss. But the fight idea is just essentially to keep on moving and keep shooting, and RNA will go down eventually. You have to be wary of little things like that. But this fight really isn't that bad. Even if Prompto has a ridiculously long animation of getting up from that, Jesus. You're going to see me try and use the SMG for a while. That was me debating to start again. Yeah, but the retry option's not there because I had a really shit start. But the thing is that the assault rifle's kind of useless. They have these explosive barrels on to throw the extra damage, but the way RNA is, it's kind of wasted. Like, you can't get much effective use out of it. Especially because look at that. The barrels take forever to explode, so getting the timing and the use out of them is completely wasted. Every time you get a trigger happy, you should feel free to use it because of the free damage. If you get enough damage on her when she's doing her attack, Prompto will naturally counter her when she gets down. As soon as she's stunned, you need to make the most of the counter because you really won't have long. But it is what will wreck through her health faster than anything else. But this is the fight. I say it's really boring and easily the weakest of the three super bosses in this. Because you're just dawdling, you're just like keeping your distance and keep on shooting, because that's the entirety of Prompto's playstyle. And yeah, you'll get caught the odd time, but it's really not hard. But unlike Gladio, because the decay health does exist, there are elixirs you have to be wary of using. So there's not much really to say. This video is going to be a bit shorter than the past few, which is quite nice though. So I'm doing these 3. The next part should be the time trials and the score attack. And after that, we're done. Actually. Huh. Looking at the list, yeah, we're done. Because odd side quests and hunts, the one I want to do is way too far of a grind away, so I might do it at some point, but not anytime soon. And the side quest was mostly just building up the car to help get towards the D type. That was it. I was trying to think of what it was called then. So in reality, after this, we have score attack time trial, episode to Sky because I want to show off what that was, and then episode Arden when that comes out in March. But for the sake of the argument, we'll be done in only a couple more videos, because episode Arden, that's not on my radar of the Let's Play, because that's not out for another few months yet. And let's be honest, when it does come out, I probably won't play it straight away, because Devil May Cry 5 comes out in March, and I'll be playing that a lot. But I will be reaching the point I want to reach with this Let's Play before Kingdom Hearts 3's release, assuming there's no more hiccups in recording before then. Ooh, boom. And then when I come back from enjoying Kingdom Hearts 3, we'll crack on with my next Let's Play. Oh, that was a bit of a shame that we completely missed all that. Well, it's because she was in mid-animation, so the attack didn't count, but oh well. Damn it. Just like all the other episodes though, if you hit square as you hit the ground, don't mash it, just time it, you'll bounce back up and not lose the health you lost. But Ignis still has it the easiest because it gives you the prompt for it, for goodness sake, and gives you a free counter. This fight hasn't got much more left to it though. Despite how slow her health's burning down, the amount Crackshot burns through, yeah, she'll be down soon. Also, I kind of feel bad for Aranea. When you think about it, like, you got the training thing, you got the actual boss fight against her, now you got this. She gets beaten the crap out of if you win all the fights. Like, seriously, like, I'm not surprised, like, that she just left the Magitech guys, the Niflheim Empire, because, like, they're not worth it. They're not worth the hassle of the brutality she has to face. Look, and it's over. And she hasn't got any fancy lines to say, she just shouts at you for it. And yes, as you can see by the date, this is an old recording. Both episode Prompto and episode Ignis' Super Boss have been recorded a very long time ago. Mostly just because I really didn't want to do this particular fight. This one's the hardest of the 3, but probably the best of the 3 anyway. It's just such a war machine to work through. Your best strategy is to go full offense, and if you take the hit for it, just use the recovery that Ignis has to make the most of it. But you want to keep the pressure on against Noctis the entire fight. Because if you stop for a second, he will use his MP to counter you. Because he does actually have limited MP. Like now that he's run out of phasing because he's burned all his MP, so he has to just tank all the hits we throw at him. And if the damage multiplier in effect, you really do need to take the fight this way. Unfortunately, when he's down on the ground, Total Clarity seems to miss, which is annoying, but it is what it is. See that he's dodging like crazy, he gets the counter off, but he will run out of MP and we'll be able to hit him up for it, so... Case in point. Little known thing, but Ignis does have his own little auto dodge as well, where if you hold square he will move out the way like phasing. So if you want to, you feel free to use that. I don't in this fight, at least not much, because I'd rather just tank the hit, counter and be straight back on him than try and move out the way. And the music is awesome here. They did another remix of Apocalypse Noctis. Because you had Apocalypse Noctis, Apocalypse Aquarius when you was fighting Leviathan, and now this. I like how Noctis tries to smack talk you along the fight as well. But he just sounds very panicky, like he knows he's going to lose. Also, Noctis will use every single weapon he can possibly use. He can and will use Armiger when you're partway through the fight. And he can and will use the ring on you when it's done. When he uses the ring, you need to hit him enough to break him out of it, because he'll be using it normally. Beyond that though, if he uses Alterna, you need to move. Because Alterna, the instant killing Adamantoise monster will always instant kill Ignis if you're in the range of it when it goes off. So you need to keep that in mind. You do have the little grapple hook given to you though from the actual episode, which is kind of neat. Doesn't have too much use, it's more just a tool for the fight in certain areas. Like if Noctis point warps, you can pull down where he's point warped to like knock him off guard and do some extra damage on him. But when he's up there, it's kind of annoying that you can't do much. I need him to come down. There we go. If the fight takes long enough and you're not doing well enough, when the sun sets, Ravus has a chance to join you. There's only a chance, but he can, and that's kind of neat. But if Ravus joins you, you're pretty much guaranteeing you're not getting the highest rating on this, because it is scoring you this fight and rating you on it, and you need to get a high enough score to get the trophy for your trouble. This run through is high enough for the score, so you get an idea of just how aggressive you need to be to get it, but it's not actually too bad. You just need to keep on him. If it reaches nighttime and you're still like dragging on, you probably haven't got it. There's someone who said if you die you don't get it, but that's bollocks. But you do get a score multiplier for every item you keep, so if you can keep hold of your items, you'll have an easier chance and more forgiving chance of doing it. There you saw what we was on about with the using the hook to pull things down instead of lifting you up. And the thing is, they actually spent more time advertising this fight in the trailers than they did the actual episode. They're like, look at this awesome fight we've made for episode Ignis. And you said episode Noctis, but that's one of the DLCs that's not happening now. So don't worry about that. So I will admit, it is a shame that we're not getting those extra DLCs, because I was kind of interested in the alternate storyline leading to an alternate ending. With our episode Aranea, episode Luna and episode Noctis, especially because of episode Aranea, they would have made her playable, I think. I'm not sure what they would have done for episode Luna. Like, I don't know how they would have made Luna playable. And if episode Noctis, I can only imagine that they'd give him some much needed buffs and reworks, because yeah, he needs them. When you compare to how powerful Ignis, Prompto and Gladio can be in the right hands, Noctis really falls behind in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong, he still has his tools and his tricks in his arsenal, but still. And yeah, this is the longest of the 3 fights. It does take up the rest of the video. And this is also the last time we're playing as Ignis in this Let's Play, so... Sorry, Ignis. You've definitely had the least amount of playtime of the cast. It was never intended. I wanted to make the most effort to balance them out. But I'd say out of all of them, you've definitely had the least amount of playtime, just because... If Ignis is under-leveled, it's the character you feel it with the most for being under-leveled. Whilst all the rest you can always make workarounds. Especially Prompto, because he can just make distance from the enemy, like we saw when we did the Coastal Mark. Next part, when we do Score Attack and Time Trial. Score Attack will be the last time we play as Gladio, and Time Trial will be the last time we technically play as Prompto, even though there'll be no combat. Also, what you see me doing here, when he goes to use Armiger, he'll be constantly barraging you with it, but the invincibility frames of the Dragoon high jump will allow you to ignore the entire thing and get through it, so make the most of it. And it's going to be where you're going to see us use the rest of our meter. I'm going to see me make a rush to try and build the meter up again, so the next time he decides to do it, we're already ready. Additionally, I have mentioned before, but if Ignis is in a danger state, you can hold square and he will eventually pull him... No, hold square, triangle even, and he will pull himself up. So you don't need to use items. I'm just using it to be safe, but you don't need to. If you can make some distance away from him, you can just use it to your advantage. I'm not sure what I was pulling off here back when I did this fight. I did this fight like a month or two before Royal Edition came out, if I remember rightly. Because I start burning through items like a wild man. You should save your items until you absolutely need them. And I get the timing back down for the ring. So I think I was annoyed that I was missing the timing for the ring, so I wanted to keep on pushing to do it. And he's now using more royal arms, as you've probably noticed, like using the chainsaw arm. And if you want to see what all the royal arms do, you're gonna see them, because I didn't show off about half of them, which was never the intention. It's just what happened. Because I knew going into this Let's Play right from the start there was going to be a whole heap of things that were just going to be on happenstance or on chance. Like some things I just wouldn't get to show off if I wanted to, and some stuff I'd end up showing off even if I didn't want to, sort of thing. But either way, I've actually had a really fun adventure going through the whole of this game again, and showing off everything as we go through. It's been a blast, and my opinion of Final Fantasy 15 has actually drastically improved since the start, because if you've been watching all of this, you'll know that when I started, I put this Final Fantasy game dead in the middle. I said that there were games worse than it, but there are definitely games better than it. My opinion definitely has risen. I'd say it's like edging in my top 5, but I'd have to reevaluate. But I've really loved this Final Fantasy game. Like, I think it's really grown on me. I had my issues with it on my first run, but it has really grown on me as it's gone on, as time has passed. Yeah, the episodes and Royal Edition has really aided that, but it's still... The main game itself I was enjoying a lot more than I did on my first run, which surprised me. I don't know if it's just because I'm older and a bit more experienced, or because it was my second run through or what, but I did enjoy it a lot more, and I can recommend it to anyone who wants to give this game a go. Especially because, as it says at the start, this is an effective entry point to the franchise as well. When Noxus says I don't like the way this is going, he's going to start using the bloody ring. And you need to stop him, no matter what. You can't let him persist with the ring, because it's an instant kill if he can keep it on you. And Alterna, when I say instant kill with that, it's not instant kill in the sense of it'll put you down and you have to use a Phoenix down. No, you vanish and just cease to exist like Alterna does to a normal enemy, and it just ends the fight, regardless of what you have. And I think we see him try and use it once in this fight. Sorry, I'm waiting for him to use Alterna so I can highlight it and how you need to dodge it. Because every time we've used it, you might have noticed there's like an orb that shows up when he goes to use it. Alright, now we're a bit fucked because we're out of items, because I decided to waste them all early, which I shouldn't have done. And he's got into Armager, so you just got to tank this. Also, this is a bit mean. If he goes to use the Armager chain when he's nearly dead, Prompto and Gladios show up as well. But I just barely managed to get away there. I find that hilarious that happens. Like, it's so favoured against you. It's ridiculous. But because we have less health, my idea doesn't work as effectively of just tanking hits, because almost every hit will do more than 870 damage. And because he's using the damn ring again, it's difficult for us to recover properly, so I immediately respond with like Total Clarity. I nearly called it High Charity. I've had Halo on my mind recently. Anyway, I used Total Clarity to knock Noctis out of there, because letting him continue with that is never a good idea, because you'll just explode and cease to exist. And then ceasing to exist ends the fight. You can't Phoenix down out of it. But it's a bit surprising because the entire premise of this fight is that they want to, like, Ignis wants to test Noctis to see how powerful he is. And they make a bet on it of whoever loses has to eat their vegetables. Even though I don't think Ignis cares, Noctis does. And as you can tell, Noctis cares way too much, because this is probably the hardest he's ever tried for anything. Like, he's more powerful and more aggressive than he can physically be in the main game. Like, how much does he hate his vegetables that he's prepared to kill and make him cease to exist to win the fight? Oh, I nearly got away with that there. I try and be a bit cheeky with these, like just roll away and then try and get it, and half the time it actually works. Now he's going to start using Holy, where if you hit him on the dodge, or here's him using Alterna, just keep on rolling like a madman, and you can see the glass, like a glass outline of where it was going to land. So I managed to just get out of the way in time for that. If you're inside of that, when it goes off, end of, it's over. The fight just ends. You can't Phoenix down out of it. You just stop. Also, now he's being a bit of a bitch and shooting at me, but I'm trying to still get away, seeing I can roll it, because I want him to stop rolling. And then he starts warp striking at me, and then he just straight up kills me, so I have to use a Phoenix. And the game even tells you how to do it. Like, what? Okay, I get it. But you don't want to be retrying this fight, because it's the same issue that all 3 episodes have. If you lose the fight, when you click on retry, you have to sit through a rather long load screen to do it again. You can't just restart it. Which is a little annoying. It's not that bad, but still. It's not as bad as, like, trying to get the trophy for no damaging Dante at the end of Bloody Palace on DMC4. Like, it's not as bad as that, where you have to sit through the entire hour and a half Bloody Palace again to try it again, but it's still annoying. Since the fight's nearly over, I just go rough on the counters, because I know the counter damage will be enough to kill him at this point. And the music escalates more and more as it's about to finish. Also, he dodged that, the bastard. Also, you can counter off the shield basher. It's something I love. It does 0 damage when he spawns it in. And there we go. And there goes Noctis.
Onward. That satisfied my appetite for knowledge. Yet alas, our king suffers the bitter taste of defeat. Nothing a healthy helping of greens couldn't fix, of course.
And that's it. Next time on Final Fantasy 15, we'll be tackling Score Attack and the Time Trials extra modes. But until then, you take care now. And there's our A+. See, it's time bonus, combo, evasiveness. Evasiveness I failed miserably on, so I'm happy I got that score anyway. And there you go. But until then, you guys take care now.